Ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. And there shall be famines and pestilences, earthquakes in divers places. All these are the beginning of sorrows.
Thank you for visiting the Light Brigade and joining me on Enlightened Paths End Time Scripture Study with Benevolent. We are continuing on in the Spirits of the New Age series. We are on part 2 of the Spirit of Technology. The reason for a part 2 is because there are so many facets of technology that are endless. So I felt that the initial message wouldn't do Yah's people any justice, which was just a drop in the bucket compared to what man has in store for the future. When we date back into history, we see where man's imagination and innovation has revolved over the centuries. On the surface, it seems as though it started out subtle and innocent and very beneficial to us. Man's quest for knowledge and innovation, although may seem primitive to us today, was called the First Industrial Revolution. Let's take a look into this Industrial Revolution, the first one. A step into production technology, which was completely different from the past, is also called the Industrial Revolution. The new production technologies fundamentally changed the working conditions and lifestyles of people. What were the Industrial Revolutions and where do we find ourselves now? From the first Industrial Revolution, Industry 4.0. So we have went from the first Industrial Revolution to where we currently are now in the fourth. But I'm just going to give a brief summary and a brief detail of the first Industrial Revolution. The first revolution began in the 18th century through the use of steam power and mechanization of production. This is how they produce their markets and they produced all of their merchandise. What before produced threads on simple spinning wheels, the mechanized version achieved 8 times the volume in the same time. Steam power was already known. The use of it for industrial purposes was the greatest breakthrough for increasing human productivity. So the first Industrial Revolution was with the usage of steam to transport passengers to and fro much faster than a horse and carriage could. This is a part of history that never received recognition, is when our brave and intelligent brother Marcus Garvey brought a steamship to bring us blacks to where we came from, but to no avail. As the scriptures state, what we deem as good is looked at as evil. I'm sure many of us have never even heard of Marcus Garvey purchasing a steamship to bring us back to the motherland. A lot of brothers and sisters are not aware of this history because it's been hidden and it's been concealed. But I'm bringing it to the forefront today. The steamship in which Marcus Garvey was attempting to bring us folks back was called the Black Star Liner. It was set at dock for journeys to and fro America to Africa. But of course, Satan entered into the heart of a fellow Hebrew Israelite named Webb Du Bois, who blew the whistle on Garvey's ideas and visions and later derailed and hindered Garvey's plans. Of course, right? It's always our own folks that are doing us in. We'll go on to the second Industrial Revolution, which began in the 19th century through the discovery of electricity and assembly line production. This technology was, I feel, in the beginning, where were given to honest Yah-fearing men to do great works, to aid man in his quest to discover his true meaning and purpose. As all history is tainted and hidden, the first man ever to discover this unbelievable knowledge was a Hebrew Israelite by the name of Lewis Latimer. The Hebrew Israelite who enlightened Thomas Edison. Yes, that's correct. He helped bring electricity as well as the telephone to the masses, and he understood the links between electric power and political power. Of course, his invention was later stolen and usurped by Benjamin Franklin and Alexander Graham Bell, who in history are known as the inventors. But true records state that Latimer was hired by these men so they may learn of his innovations and knowledge, then later patent it as their own. So why isn't electricity and the phone named after Lewis Latimer instead of Benjamin Franklin and Graham Bell? I believe our common sense can answer that. The third industrial revolution began in the 70s, in the 20th century, through partial automation, using memory programmable controls in computers. Since the introduction of these technologies, we are now able to automate an entire production process. Now, what is automation? Automation is when the machine no longer needs man's assistance. We are now able to automate an entire production process without human assistance. Known examples of this are robots that perform program sequences without human intervention. Wow. Around the third industrial revolution is where we went from limited knowledge to unlimited knowledge with the creation of computers and automation. I'm sure we know that Satan's fingerprints can be seen with a neon light with this third aspect of technology. We can safely say that this is where man has gotten overzealous with prior inventions, and now with the capabilities of computers, data programming, and coding, they believe there is no boundaries. Currently, they are implementing the fourth industrial revolution builds on the developments of the third industrial revolution. Production systems that already have computer technology are expanded by a network connection and have a digital twin on the internet, so to speak. So the fourth industrial revolution is mainly ran by computer networking, connecting computers to other computers, and now they're connecting those computers to humans. These allow communication with other facilities and the output of information about themselves. This is the next step in production automation. The networking of all systems lead to cyber-physical production systems. Cyber-physical, meaning that they'll be able to add their cyber technology to a physical human being. And therefore smart factories in which production systems, components, and people communicate via network, and production is nearly autonomous. Autonomous is when the machines operate and perform tasks without the need of a human operator. So not if, but when these devices of Satan become totally autonomous, the idea of Skynet, Terminator, and Minority Report don't seem so far-fetched after all. Let's take a look into some scriptures so we can see how this technology was prophesied in the scriptures. We're going to go unto Proverbs 18, verse 15. The heart of the prudent gets knowledge, and the ear of the wise seek knowledge. You see, the prudent are those who prepare for the future. They are granted knowledge to do good. The wise listens and seeks after knowledge through his studies and research and investigations, and patiently waits upon Yah. Then we also have the knowledge of the fallen is prudent as well, but in an evil form. To prepare the masses for the future, they have envisioned and set up for the new age and beyond. If we go to Proverbs 2, verse 1 through 6, he says, "My son, if you will receive my words and hide my commandments with you, so that you incline your ear unto wisdom, in Yah's wisdom, and apply your heart to understanding. Yes, if you cry after knowledge and lift up your voice for understanding. If you seek her as silver and search for her as for hid treasures, then shall you understand the fear of Yah. So we see that knowledge, understanding, and wisdom is the fear of Yah. And find the knowledge of Yah, for Yah gives wisdom. Out of his mouth comes knowledge and understanding. So the knowledge of the fallen is prudent as well, but it is in an evil form, as I said, to prepare the masses for the future, the new world order. So I will compare the fourth industrial revolution to the fourth kingdom of the beast in Daniel. If we go on to Daniel 2, verse 40 through 41, we will see where the fourth kingdom, which I compared to the fourth industrial revolution, is taking place currently. This was prophesied in the Old Testament by Daniel. Verse 40, and the fourth kingdom shall be strong as iron, for as much as iron breaks in pieces and subdue all things, and as iron that breaks all these shall it break in pieces and bruise. 41, and whereas you saw the feet and toes, part of the potter's clay and part of iron, the kingdom shall be divided, but there shall be in it of the strength of the iron, for as much as you saw the iron mixed with miry clay. This is referring to the giant statue or idol that was in the dream of the king, Nebuchadnezzar. Daniel interpreted the dream, and his revelation of the image was the kingdoms throughout all the world's history, from Babylon, Medo-Persia, Greece, and finally Rome, which is the fourth kingdom. Let's go on to Daniel 2, verse 43. And whereas you saw iron mixed with miry clay, they shall mingle themselves with the seed of men, but they shall not cleave one to another, even as iron is not mixed with clay. So we see here a kingdom where the subjects will be part iron and part clay. Iron symbolizes power and authority as well as bondage, and clay is flesh, the way in which Yah has shaped and molded us. So therefore, I believe he is referring to transhumanism, cyborgs, and humanoids. Yes, humanoids. Although it sounds far-fetched, this is what is being prophesied, and we can see this taking place currently. Let's go on to Daniel 7, and we'll read out of verse 23 to 25. Thus he said, the fourth beast shall be the fourth kingdom upon the earth, which shall be diverse from all kingdoms, and shall devour the whole earth, and shall tread it down and break it into pieces. And the 10 horns out of this kingdom are the 10 kings that shall arise, and another shall rise after them, and he shall be diverse from the first. And he shall subdue 3 kings, and he shall speak great words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High, and to think to change times and laws, and they shall be given into his hand until a time and times and a dividing of times. Now, this scripture here describes the time in which the Antichrist will have reign. He said that he will wear out the saints. I mean, if you ask me, it feels as though we're being wore out now by the deception and all of the distractions and the hindrances that we see in this world. It is not far-fetched to say that the Antichrist is currently on this earth. He has just not made himself known yet, but I believe he is here. This man, the Antichrist, who will wield the power to do these things, these horrifying acts, will be none other than Satan's son, the Antichrist, the king of Edom. Scripture says that it is diverse from the previous. This is because man will take on new forms of beings, and nature will be distorted and twisted under the Antichrist regime, aka the beast system, Esau's unveiling. This is Edom's world. We were told in the hidden and removed scriptures of the Apocrypha, ironic that it remains in the King James 1611, which I use to teach my lessons. We will read out of 2nd Esdras, chapter 6, verse 9. And it reads, for Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of that follows. Let's read that again. For Esau is the end of the world. So if Esau is the end of the world, that means that this world that we're currently living in is of Esau, because it hasn't ended yet. And Jacob is the beginning of it that follows. So Jacob, which are the Hebrew Israelites, which are the blacks, our world has not begun yet. We're still living in Esau's world. Jacob's world, or our world, will begin after this world ends. That's something to think about, isn't it? Let's take a look into Psalms. We'll go to Psalms 82, and we'll read out of verses 5 through 7. They know not, neither will they understand. They walk on in darkness. All the foundations of the earth are out of course. Out of course means that they're out of whack. Out of course means that they have distorted the world. They have distorted the earth. The earth is corrupt. I have said you are gods, little g, and all of you are children of the Most High. But you shall die as men. You shall die like men and fall like one of the prince. Now, many false teachers refer to this scripture to justify the fact that men are gods with a little g, or in Hebrew, Elohim, small e. When he called us gods, he was referring to mighty men or judges, men of high standards of great importance. Let's finish Psalm so we can see that. Psalms 82, verse 1 through 4. Yah stands in the congregation of the mighty. He judges among the gods. He judges among the gods. So when he's judging the gods, this is what he's telling them. How long will you judge unjustly and accept the persons of the wicked? You see? So Yah is rebuking the gods or judges for allowing wickedness to take place on their watch. He also says, defend the poor and the fatherless. Do justice to the afflicted and needy. Deliver the poor and needy. Rid them out of the hand of the wicked. So the gods or the judge's job was to lay down the law, was to protect the poor and the needy from the wicked. You see, many do not rightly divide Yah's word. All they see is what benefits them at the moment or whatever it feels like it says. But I'm sure they skipped over verse 7 where he says, you shall die like men and not gods. I want to take you through a few aspects of our modern technology. One of the aspects of this spirit of technology is what we have, deep fakes. What is a deep fake? A deep fake is a video of a person in which their face or body has been digitally altered so that they appear to be someone else, typically used maliciously or to spread false information. So we see a lot of those deep fakes on the internet. And if not being careful and not being wise and using discernment, we will be deceived. Now, it says that there are 5 levels to deep fakes. Actually 4. So we have textual deep fakes, which are fake written content that challenges the originality of the text in question and raises concerns regarding misinformation. So that's one of the first aspects we have in the deep fakes. Second aspect of deep fake is deep fake video. Deep fake videos manipulate and superimpose facial impressions onto existing videos, leading to realistic but deceptive imagery, posing a serious problem for video authentication. Then we also have deep fake audio. Deep fake audio is enabling the creation of synthetic audio recordings that mimic real individuals while raising concerns about audio-based deception, aka voice transfers. We also have social media deep fakes, in which we see a lot, which is more common. The usage of deep fakes on social media poses risks of spreading false and misinformation, prompting concerns about the impact about public discourse and trust. There's so many aspects to this fourth kingdom industrial revolution, which I call the fourth kingdom of Daniel. There is another aspect of this fourth kingdom industrial revolution is the implementation of extended reality. What is extended reality? I'm glad you asked. Extended reality is an integration of all technologies that simulate reality, such as VR, to augmented reality mixed with everything in between. Basically, a smorgasbord of technology wrapped up in one to manipulate the mind to believe what you see is reality. It is a significant technology trend right now as all of us are craving to break away from the so-called real boundaries of the world. This is the problem. Everyone is seeking to break away. We're looking for some type of escapism. So Satan hands us this new age technology. So therefore, we can do just that. We can break away and escape from the tribulation of the world. By creating a reality without any tangible presence, this technology is massively popular among gamers, medical specialists, retail, and modeling. What it is, it's a hub of digital realism that allows you to live out your dream life online or in real time, where you can pursue a career as a game designer, animation, or a program editor, or any career of your imagination. Think of the metaverse. This is why Zuckerberg changed Facebook to Meta. What in the world does Meta mean? I'm glad you asked that too. If we look up the word meta and the etymology of meta, the prefix is variance, occurring later or in succession to, after. Future aspirations going further in technology to lead the masses towards the next level of innovations of man. There you go. We have another definition, means to change, transformation, transcending. So we see here, Zuckerberg knew exactly what he was doing when he changed it from Facebook to Meta, because he's entering into a cyber world and we are falling along with him. The other aspect of this new age technology is called digital trust or blockchain. The first scripture that comes to mind when I think of this is Revelation 13. If we go there real brief, Revelation 13 verse 16, and he calls all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell except he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. I know I tend to read that scripture quite frequently, but that is a scripture that is coming to pass. It's coming to pass as we speak. So blockchain or digital trust, as I mentioned, is a digital transaction where it will be required to buy and sell. They are currently working on doing away with the dollar. This is the reason for BRICS. Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa are ready to break away from the American dollar. Soon they will add many more letters to their treaty or pact. Then we as American citizens, so-called, are in for a spiritual fight and will have to decide. We will have to make a grave decision, for they are coming for our financial liberties. This is what I will compare to the valley of decision in the scriptures. Then we have genomics, which is a technology that can study and use your DNA to quote unquote improve your health. They can also manipulate your health as well and cut and paste your genes to experiment more advanced findings. They tell us this innovation is to benefit, or are they really trying to play Elohim? I think it's the latter. What about you? Then the final aspect that I have for this current new age technology is quantum computing. Now this right here is where we are getting into complex portal openings and CERN and these really high-tech, scary, supernatural almost computing, where they are almost opening up portals and connecting to the other dimensions. Quantum computing has the capability to sift through huge numbers of possibilities and extract potential solutions to complex problems and challenges. You see that word extract? It means that they can go in and pull things out from another dimension that we're never here with this quantum computing. I believe wicked and demonic spirits inhabit this quantum computing. But let's go in deeper. Classical computers store information as bits with either zeros or ones. Quantum computers use qubits. Qubits carry information in a quantum state that engages 0 and 1 in a multi-dimensional way. Multi-dimensional. Such massive computing potential and the projected market size for its use have attracted the attention of some of the most prominent companies. I will name 3 of the most popular. These include IBM, Microsoft, and Google, of course, right? The uses and benefits of quantum computing could contribute greatly to the fields of security finance, military affairs, and intelligence. Military affairs and intelligence. So we're talking coming up with AI military weapons of mass destruction where it's autonomous. They also have, there's the use of drug design and discovery, aerospace designing, utilities, nuclear fission, where they tap into nuclear, making nuclear bombs, polymer design, machine learning, artificial intelligence, AI, Satan's intelligence, big data, search, and digital manufacturing. Quantum computers can be used to improve the secure sharing of information, so it can also be as cybersecurity, or cyber breaching, or cyber hacking, or cyber infiltration, or to improve radars and their ability to detect missiles and aircraft, and also to spy on citizens. Another area where quantum computing is expected to help is the environment and keeping water clean with chemical sensors, really. See, all this technology on face value seems so beneficial, but the underlyings are diabolical and sinister. Now, those are the benefits to us on the surface, but we can see, if we take a look with our discernment, and we can see the sinister use of these quantum computers. The obscurity of this technology is it acts like a spiritual power source to aid man, but I feel this spirit will hurt man in the long run because the machines have a mind of its own with its demonic energy broadcasted and publicized to bring the king of this world and the wrath of Yah simultaneously. So what this technology will do will open up portals and bring out the demons and bring the king of this world, the king of Edom, the Antichrist, will lay out the red carpet for him, but also bring upon the wrath of Yah simultaneously. So it's basically a double-edged sword. The only knowledge, brothers and sisters, that is true and pure is that of the Most High. Proverbs 9, verse 10. The fear of Yahuwah is the beginning of wisdom, and the knowledge of holy is understanding. You see that? There is no other knowledge other than the fear of Yah. So, this concludes part 2 of the spirit of technology, which we covered on the spirits of the new age. This was the attribute of technology. And this is part 2. I hope this edified you. I hope this blessed you. I hope you learned something here. And I hope that this will convict you to be mindful of your partaking in this new age technology. As I said on the previous video, we are to partake in this technology to our benefits and to do righteous things and to help others. But when we get into the diabolical use of this technology, it is only for evil purposes, and we know this. So as always, Yah bless you and your families. Shalom.